Hey everyone, I just wanted to take a second to let you know that there are a couple of quality issues with this video. There are FPS drops as well as, I believe, two instances that the footage just skips entirely. I wasn't exactly sure how to edit that out, or I was unable to, rather. It may be a problem with my recording software, or it may be a problem with my system handling that load. I'm not really sure yet. I will do my best to make the next one better, and hopefully that won't happen again. But they are in there, so I apologize again for them. Thank you, and enjoy the show. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new series that I'm starting that I call the Steam Shuffle. Now, I have acquired a vast library of games here over the course of the past year that I just have not even had time to get around and play. So, what this series is going to focus on is I will be playing a game for about 20 to 30 to 40 minutes. There's no really predefined time limit, just however much I think I need to play it to kind of get a good feel for it. Today we're actually taking a look at a game by Black Forest Studios called Giana Sisters Twisted Dreams. I played a little bit of it, I played a couple of levels of it, and it is a platformer similar in style to something like, say, Sonic, without quite the speed of it, but there's a gimmick attached to it, and I'll go into that when I start playing the game and you'll see it. Initial impressions so far are pretty good. I really like the tightness of the controls. The one thing that I've had a problem with so far is most of the display options are actually in a launcher window before you actually launch the game itself. Now, that may not be a big deal to some people, but my personal preference is I enjoy changing display settings and being able to see the actual effect on the game in real time rather than having to change the settings and then go back into it and see, oh, okay, well, this is alright. Now, it's kind of finicky, and it seems to me a little bit outdated and archaic technology when there's so many other games out there this day and age that you can easily change display options in there and see it as soon as it happens. So we'll take a look at the options menu here real quick just to show you. All you have in the actual game is the audio controls, which the sliders there. You have the music style that you can change to cute or punk, which I'll show you that as well, which is something that I really enjoyed about this title so far was the music. You also have rebindable keys, I believe, kind of, sorta. I mean, you can swap your sticks, but it doesn't seem to where you can actually change the buttons itself. Granted, I am using a 360 pad here for platformers. I feel more comfortable with it than using a keyboard because I just feel like I have more precision when doing so. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the game here and show you what it's all about. There are numerous modes here. You got your normal mode, your score attacks, your time attacks. Apparently, hardcore is exactly what hardcore sounds like. If you die, you start over from the beginning and have to play every single level again. In a game like this, I could see that once you've played quite a few of the levels and know the design, and you'll be able to do alright, but let's just get into it so I can show you. I'm going to go ahead and skip over this little cutscene thing that happens every time we start the game. So, like I said, I've played a couple of levels here to kind of get a feel for the controls in the game itself. So, I'm going to go ahead and start back on the first level here. A little bit easier. I have no idea what to expect in the next one, so I feel like this would be more appropriate to really demonstrate what the game offers in terms of the controls and whatnot. Alright, so here we go. First thing you'll notice really is the backdrop in this game is actually really detailed. You see these little tutorial menus here showing you, oh, A to jump. Such a novel concept, I know. Some of the platforms here are actually, I don't know what you would call that, translucent? Not translucent, but you're able to pass through them with ease like that. The other ones, the bricks there, not so much. Now this is one of the sisters, which her ability is twirling and flying. I don't believe they allow you to do that on the first level here, so we'll just kind of run through here right quick. Obviously, the gems are coins or collectible music notes, and every other game that we played that are similar to this. The big ones that you collect there unlock art gallery work, and really hope we get to a transition here soon, because that's really what makes this game different and really stand out from the rest, which I believe is going to happen here. Mr. Dragon's gonna eating little girls there. Not very friendly of him. Now, kind of confused there as to whether or not that actually was hurting him or something. Okay, so here we can see the staple of this game here, the little gimmick on it. You press the right trigger, and boom! There we go. The backdrop is completely changed. Your character now has this ability, which is quite fun. It's a little air dash here. If you hit the walls, however, it extends the length of the dash. And if you hold it like that, it will even go indefinitely as long as you're bouncing off of the surface. Now, if you'll notice, when I transition to the other character, the gate lifts and the bridge is closed and all the sorts of stuff like that. So you can see the differences here in the two types of worlds. You also notice that the red Gianna sister can collect red gems, whereas the other only collects yellow. So you will be transitioning through both quite frequently. I mean, there's really no way around it. Will it allow me to do the other one's ability yet? There we go. Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier. The blonde sister actually has the twist jump here that you can see. And then she can kind of float and glide. And it's much slower than the dash, but you can reach longer distances of it. Now, you do that with the top button here, and if you press the X button, which does the other ability, you immediately swap over to the character the other sister, rather. And it's seamless. I mean, we'll go swap to that one, we drop there, we swap back. No problems at all. It's very, very seamless transitions on there. I really like how that, how the transition there is. There's no time whatsoever. The entire world changes when you do those transitions there, and if you look in the backdrop, which is, I mean, it's the whole metally sort of evil world that you've got going there. So it's the contrast of the hardcore character here versus the cute and cuddly in the creepy world. It's the opposites going on like that. I find it really interesting. Keeps it fairly fresh. You can even see like the mushrooms there in the creeped out world. When you transition over, they become the little houses. And just back and forth, no problem. I can do it as quick as the button will allow, and it doesn't miss a beat. So this little area right here is the end of the level. And as you can see, though, you can keep going to try and collect a few things. These extra gems here. One of the other things that as I mentioned earlier, is the music changes depending on which world you're in. They called it on the, I just kind of fell off the cliff there. In the options menu, they called it the cute versus punk version. So we're in here, as you can kind of hear. Let me turn the volume for you a little bit so you can hear. There you go. It's the same tune, just two different variants of it there, and we're just gonna jump in there and finish the level. So yeah, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Like I said, it has kind of a Sonic-esque feel without the speed aspect of it. In terms of, I would say, like the artwork style, very Sonic-esque, or perhaps maybe more like an Earthworm Jim type thing. If you pay attention in the little creepy not cyberpunk, wow, chaotic world in there, it kind of gives me an Earthworm Jim feel to it. But platform wise, it's really solid. You saw some enemies in there that, I mean, so far I haven't encountered anything that is difficult to dispatch in any way. That's the platform there will disappear in this world, and you swap over, you can grab that other gem right there. But if I was to do it like that, you go ahead and jump on those spikes and die. But when you transition, the hazards themselves change. So that, like I said, that's kind of the whole staple of it. And the question I feel is appropriate to ask is the gimmick define the game, or does the game work around the gimmick? And I think it's not really gimmicky in the sense that that's the whole point of the game. It really does just enhance the game itself, because it's a solid platformer even without the change mechanic there. I mean, you could take one character who had both of the abilities there and it would still be a very solid platformer. Okay, so it looks like, there we go. Well, there's an enemy that I've found that I can't just simply jump on his head. Let's see if the fire jump hurts someone. Nope, can't run into him at all. Okay. Not really sure how to deal with this guy here. You may just have to skip him. There may be no way to actually damage him with the spikes all over his body, and at least not that's apparent to me right now. I mean, you have no problem just jumping over him and continuing along your path anyways, so that's what we're gonna do. Kind of dispatch some of these green birds here. I find myself sticking with the, I'll call her the fire sister, more so than the blonde. I'm only swapping to her when it's absolutely necessary to get the whatever diamonds or just transition to the screen, because she moves faster, and that fireball dash is just really satisfying. Jump on some spikes there. The fire dash ability there is really satisfying, especially if I were to find, which I haven't yet, be able to showcase how she can bounce. That's basically the wall jump, more or less. You can't actually wall jump in like in a traditional platformer, but you can use that fire jump and just bounce off of walls continuously. It's got that flair to that pizzazz that I feel is really, it's great. I really like dashing around as a ball of fire. What can I say? It brings out the inner kid in me. Fire, fire, fire. I just don't really care being a twirly ballerina as much. Here we go. So this is what I was talking about. So if I hit this diagonally like so, yeah, and you swap over to that, it seems you'll be able to get higher. So let's try that. Oh, nope. It's difficult to land that, that's for sure. Let's try see if we can go up this other side without. I'm trying to be really careful when I do that, because I feel like I might just die. It's kind of hard. You have a lot of leap of faiths, I feel. Although there are the little signs of the skull and crossbones that are supposed to warn you of hazards, but I don't find myself even paying attention to those very often. I actually keep looking at the backdrop more than anything. Oh man, is that even possible to even bounce that correctly? Because as soon as you... There we go! Okay, so you can transition, and you still are launching the... or you're still using the fireball movement even though you transition to the other character. That's alright. So the transitioning is even more so seamless. And it has to be, or you just... I probably shouldn't have done that. Well, I saw the collectible up there, but I really don't feel like bouncing all the way back up there just to attempt to get it. I'm really not... I'm not the kind of person that has to get every single collectible in a game. And I transitioned, didn't know there were spikes under me. That was awesome. It can be a bit frustrating. Like, I could see if I played the level continuously. See? Got that homing attack going on there. Again, feels very Sonic-esque with the homing attack from the new generation games. But that's okay. You know why? Because Sonic is a good game. So if you're going to imitate it, if you can imitate it properly, I don't see a problem with that whatsoever. I mean, why try to fix what's not broken? If you can pull it off, by all means do so. And I feel like they've done fairly well in that aspect. I don't feel like they're trying to copy it. They took the good aspects of it. It says there's the really, really tight control system. Yeah, and they added their own little twist on it. And I'm really, really digging it. I mean, I may not play this to completion. I probably won't do the whole hardcore mode-esque thing, because that's just really not my thing. I mean, I've obviously died like 4 or 5 times just in this video, so that would have started me at the very first level anyways. It's just... the time attack I could see could be kind of fun, but it doesn't... it's not really... it doesn't have an emphasis on speed. It's more of the Oh, look at that, making words with the diamonds on there. It doesn't emphasize speed as the main priority like, say, in a Sonic game. I know I keep referencing that, but I can't get the non-Sonic feel out of this while I'm playing it, except for the actual speed aspect, which in the Fireball state there is a bit more speed to it. There is a bit more weight to you when you're bouncing off the walls on there. I mean, it just... I don't know. It's fun for what it is. That's how we get through there. Have this transition. I was actually able to pick it up during one of the Humble Bundles, so technically I only paid like a fifth of whatever the full purchase price was when I got the whole bundle. It might be on Steam right now. Oh, of course it's on Steam. I don't believe it would be on sale. Which actually, now that I think about it, I'm not really sure what the actual price of it is right now. I can tell you what I would be willing to pay for it if I had not got it on the Humble Bundle. I'd say a good 10, 15, I think. Yeah, 15 bucks would be fair for me on this. Maybe because it's just not quite my style of game. I mean, I do enjoy the occasional platformer, but it's not my favorite genre. And if I were to, say, have gotten this and this only, I think $15 would be justified for it. So there you go. See if we can finish up this level while we're... Oh, I'm going to end up killing myself on here just trying to collect all those gems. Oh man, that was dicey. It's not really easy commentating kind of off the top of my head here while I'm going at it. I believe this is actually one of the castles, so maybe we've got something different coming up on here real quick. Maybe a boss fight. I haven't seen any bosses yet. I'm assuming that they will have some in here, possibly, because of these locks here. That's how you unlock the next level. But perhaps, maybe this, now that I'm actually looking at it, maybe this is just kind of a change of scenery. The past few levels have been pretty much that same meadowy feel. So I'm curious to see what the backdrops show on here. Yeah, that's what this is. Okay, yeah, I can get behind that. Got the Prince Charming-esque character back there, and switching to the other one has a demon dragon looking thing that wants to eat your face. Although he kind of looks like he's laughing, so he's not as scary as maybe what they were going for. Kind of dash through there real quick. Do a few homing attacks, knock some birds out. And of course the notorious crumbling platforms, which are, if you make a platforming game, they're probably gonna be in there. Yeah, this level's actually kind of, it has similar obstacles as the world that I was just in, but just this change of scenery, it's amazing what the art aspect of the game is doing without really changing the platforming itself at all. It makes it feel different, even though it's not. It's still the same, oh, let's grab the diamonds and jump on the platforms and have the same elevators, but it's still just the actual aesthetic of the level makes it feel different, and I can appreciate that. I feel like they put a lot of work designing this. Look at that, bouncing all over the place. Pinball. I feel like the developers put a lot of work into the art aspect of this, and it shows. It really does, and I can appreciate that for them, about them rather. So there you have it, folks. A look at Giana Sisters Twisted Dreams. My name is Asher, and this has been a look at Giana Sisters Twisted Dreams for the Steam Shuffle. Take care now.